Hey guys, this is John. Welcome to another Meatgistics kind of bi-weekly live stream. We do it whenever we can. You can see everything. If you go to waltonsinc.com, at the top, you'll see all our normal categories, and under more, there's one called Walton's Events. Under Walton's Events, we have a calendar, and we do our podcast, our live streams, both the Meatgistics, all that is scheduled out there. So you can always visit that and see if there's something that we're doing that you want to be a part of. This is going to be a little bit of an interesting one because we've got a couple of last-minute new products that I want to talk about. And what we should probably start off with is, since it's getting to beer drinking season for winter, obviously, we have Waltons and Meatgistics can coolers. So these are obviously our gorgeous orange, has the Waltons logo on one side, Meatgistics on the other. Everything but the meat on the bottom, waltonsinc.com, and our phone number. And right now, you can get one for free. Any order over $30, we have it automatically set to take the price of this off. So no coupon code, so you can still use a coupon code with your order. So the next time you're ordering something of $30 or more, go ahead and add one of these to your cart. The price will automatically be taken off, so you will get it for free. And again, it doesn't need a coupon or anything. It'll automatically take the price off. Unfortunately, this is a Dr. Pepper in here, not a beer. But the good thing is we got it just in time for winter when you really want a canned koozie. Because in the summer, who cares? But in the winter, obviously, you want that canned koozie. It's real important. But yeah, we're going to run that for at least a week. So if you've got an order coming up, just remember to toss that on, and you, too, can have a Walton's can cooler. I'll post a link to the product page on waltonsinc.com. And then sharp-eyed viewers will notice that I am not wearing my normal Meatgistic shirt. So we've got a new shirt, and this is like what would you call this, a heather white? Patrick, John? Heather white?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Heather white-ish. So it's got the Waltons logo on the front, and then this will probably mean more to Kansans than anywhere else. But on the back, we've got a modified Oh no, did I knock it down? Did someone take the shirt that was on here? I did. Hold on. On the back, we've got the John Brown, and this is part of something we were doing with BHA. So it says Backcountry Hunters and Anglers underneath, and in one hand, he's got a fishing pole, and in the other hand, he's got a shotgun. So this is some history of Kansas. This is a huge mural that's in our state capitol building. John Brown was a real interesting character, bit controversial, but for like the Backcountry Hunters and Anglers type thing, that is a good-ish, at least, spokesman. So go ahead, and those shirts should also be available on waltonsinc.com. A portion of those proceeds will go to a local BHA chapter. Kurt Radsliff, who people who've listened to the podcast have seen at least 3 times. He and I tend to get on here and get rambling a little bit. But you can help support a good organization. We did an event here with them 2 weeks ago on how to make cured sausage. Really good event. Turned out that they got, I think he said 5 new members from that, which is good turnout for him. BHA, Backcountry Hunters and Anglers, they go out and they do a lot of cleanup. So they'll go into like public lands and pull out tires. I think he said they pulled out over 100 tires from a river. They pulled out an entire truck from a river on a recent cleanup. So they do really good work. So good, easy way to go ahead and support them. We've got a giveaway going. So sign up over there on the right, or if you're on mobile, it should be down below. If you don't see it and you're on mobile, look for your little more button, click view as desktop, and then the giveaway should pop up. If you're watching on, I think we're streaming to Facebook, and where else, John? YouTube? Okay. YouTube. So we're doing the chat through YouTube, but the video through Rumble, just because we like to add levels of complexity to things. So you have to be at waltonsinc.com/live to be able to enter the giveaways. Not 100% sure what the giveaways will be. They're usually smaller on the Meatgistics weekly live streams because we don't do as much on those. These we try to generally do more meat processing stuff with, and I've got a couple of meat processing things to talk about with you. But while we're on the topic of new products, here is the Waltons Economy Vacuum Sealer. So this is currently, unless we've already changed it, because I know we were talking about it. I don't want to say until I bring it up. Yep, it is still $89.99. If you're in the market for one, I would get one while it's still at that price. So $89.99. It has this really nice, satisfying handle. It's got a good tactile response. You can hear it. You know you're locked and ready to go with that. Obviously, has the vac system. Like you can just press that and it'll run through the entire cycle. You can stop the seal at any part or at any time. You can also use this to seal bags, so it does work with rolls. It's got a pulse setting if you've got things you want to be careful with, and then a dry and a moist setting. So the dry and the moist, I'm trying to figure it out. When I initially tested it, I just took some water, I threw it into a bag, and I just watched it. And it looked like it was doing something, but like couldn't really tell. So then what I did is I took a rolled up piece of paper towel and I put it down in that chamber, put the same amount of water in 2 bags with a piece of paper towel in there to kind of mimic a meat product with some moisture in it. Then I weighed the paper towel that was in the chamber after I did it with the dry and after I did it with the moist. Excuse me. There was a difference, but it was very, very slight. So I'm still trying to figure out that dry and moist setting. But all in all, very good vacuum sealer for $90. It takes place of the old Harvest Guard we used to have, and in many ways, I would say superior. So that's available at waltonsinc.com. I will post a link to it right now. I was going to tell you what it is, but it's like Walton's -economy-vac-sealer. So just instead, there you go. We're going to have our monthly live stream this upcoming Monday. Those live streams are where we draw the winner for the previous month's giveaway. We also announce what's coming up, that sales and giveaways for that month. Our upcoming sales and giveaway video, this is our big sales month. We have both the pre-Thanksgiving and the Thanks Black Monday sales. So we don't tend or generally put as much on sale during the regular monthly sale. Just know that our big sales coming up, we are pretty much all ready for. But, oh, wow, that's a lot we have to do between now and then to get those shot and ready to go. So, all right. The shirt business is party in the front, or business in the front, party in the back. Just like, did you ever have a mullet, John? You seem like the kid who had a mullet.
Never had one.
Surprising. So Matt Westerhouse, no, it's not WBC. WBC does use the John Brown logo as well, but it's not associated with them. Yes. I get it. I kept thinking that as I was saying that term, that you guys aren't mature enough to handle it, and neither am I. Knives and jerky. I don't know what knives and jerky.
I think he's meaning he wants those to be given away.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, knives aren't going to happen. Those are getting hard to get again. Somebody asked me on the last stream, like if I had to take a guess at one thing that might be unexpectedly difficult to get, I'd say knives are kind of looking like it may possibly be that thing. J. Michael Kaminsky's asking for more volume. I don't know.
It's redlined.
Okay. Jeremy Ridley says, I think Gleam should play More Human Than Human by White Zombie every time you have to do the captcha. I failed a captcha the other day. It said, click all the ones that have hills in it. And one of them just looked like buildings in the background. It didn't look like hills, like in that tiny little image. So it made me do it again. I felt like a less than a person. Jeremy Ridley's talking about some sort of vegan sausage. I don't know what that is.
He might be referring to the plant-based chicken versus real chicken post that we just made.
Yes, no, that was not. I don't even remember if I tried that. It looked so unappealing.
Be glad that you didn't.
Yeah, no, that was not good looking. It looked like gray and sad and it
dry.
Talk about how it flipped.
How it flipped?
Like from one color to the other.
Oh, yeah. It was started out real light, and then once it started cooking, and I was told because of the soy in it, it turned real brown because of the soybeans in it or whatever. And so it got real brown. It was dry. If you watch the video at the end, when it's squeezing out the end, it just looks like formed styrofoam almost. Yeah. I don't know how to describe it, but
not appealing in any way, shape, or form. We did some pepperoni here a couple of weeks ago. We really wanted a way to just showcase a couple of our big cured sausage meat hacks. We're working a little bit on a full video for that. Some not troubles there, but trying to figure a few things out. But one of the things when you make pepperoni, you want that original pepperoni flavor, but unless you're doing some sort of fermentation or a dry curing, what you end up with is something that's more similar to pepperoni flavored summer sausage. But I left a plate of them out here, just went home, came in the next day, and they looked like what I wanted. So I thought, what would happen if we dehydrated them? That's not a good one. So these need to go back in the dehydrator for longer. I'm looking for one that's been done better, but yeah. So this is the somewhat finished product. Makes it a lot more firm, gives it a much better texture to it, way more like what I'm used to pepperoni being. I've been eating these rolled up with Swiss cheese for a couple of weeks now. Anytime I get hungry, I love fat. That's just so satisfying. I'd rather have fat than almost anything. Ooh, sorry about that, guys. I tend to take bites a little bit too big. Have you made sausage snack sticks from domesticated goat? I have not. I can't imagine that would be good. I mean, the fat you add is definitely going to play a huge part in that. I imagine you'd want to add pork fat probably to help yourself along the most. But even though we're going to grind it up, break it all the way down, I still imagine the toughness of that is going to be a problem. You're also going to have to take into account how you're going to grind that and stuff it, because the density of the how tough the muscle is plays a part in how hard it is to grind. Deer is harder to grind than pork because pork are generally slaughtered when they're young. That muscle is very tender without really any aging. Very easy to grind, higher water content, higher fat content. With an old stringy goat, that's going to have a lot of sinew in it. The muscle fiber is going to be more dense, harder to grind, harder to stuff. So probably want to up the water content a little bit on it. And definitely, I would recommend adding straight pork fat. Don't mess around with a 50-50 mix of, well, actually, I might take that back. If you did mix it 50-50 with a pork butt, you would be adding more pork, which would make it easier on your equipment. I guess probably the best thing to do would be to add 50-50 pork butts and the goat, and then also make up that difference in pork fat. So a pork butt's about 30% fat. I'm imagining you're not adding any goat fat. So you're at 15% fat there. I would then add an additional 10-ish% of fat of the total product to get yourself up to about 25%. That's obviously a range. It's not exact. What's going on? Yeah, I don't know where it is though. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Go say hi to everybody, Austin. Yep, right here. Sorry, Austin came to steal my crock pot and... Oh, nope, that wasn't plugged in anyways. We're good there. Thanks. Yep. Nope, no worries. Hey, John, I've had a bag of your moonshine flavored sausage mix for fresh sausage. Can I make summer sausage with it? The moonshine flavored is one of Excalibur's new ones. I think it's like 2 years old at this point. Salt content. Number one ingredient is salt. So yes, it will work. I'd probably use 5 to 10% more seasoning per pound of meat. That's going to help with protein extraction. Cured sausage, like a summer sausage, salt plays a more important role than just in flavoring. Even though salt is the number one ingredient in that, I would still go somewhere between 5 to 10% more seasoning per pound of meat than it calls for. That was crock pot we've had in here for a long time. We've done a couple recipes with it. Austin needed it for something. Don't know. I might try an 8 or 9 month of meat goal next fall and cut it with pork. Oh, goat. Yeah, I mean, even though I said initially add just pork fat, I think you probably would be better cutting it 50-50. I see a delicious looking piece of pepperoni that's sitting on my thing over there, and ooh, I just want it.
Can't imagine a goat has a lot of meat to it, does it?
I really don't know. I mean, I'm going to take a guess. Matt, you're going to have to correct us. You obviously have more experience with that than we do, but I'm going to guess probably like a full-size goat wants 80 pounds of meat, somewhere in that range, but that's a guess.
You know, my older brother used to work at a nursing home in El Dorado, and there was a bunch of guys from Africa and girls that worked there.
Yeah.
And they invited him and I out to a goat slaughter at the lake. And they split the goat open and like cut out the brains and grilled the brains and cleaned out and washed the intestines and ate. I mean, they just were eating
everything.
They ate everything.
Yep.
It was. There was stuff I wouldn't try. They had tongue out there. They were eating goat heart.
Tongue's not that bad. Brains, I don't think I could do. Intestine, I wouldn't. But I mean, that's all the difference between preference and necessity. If it's necessity, I'm eating whatever. You know, doesn't matter.
I wasn't that hungry to where it was. I was like, oh, I got to try everything. But
okay. Austin says the crock pot was for an employee function we're having later. Should have thought of that. All right. So for a while here, we've been talking about doing something, and I think it started from my obsession with energy drinks. People got the correct impression that I have a problem with caffeine. So I think Patrick was the one who brought up making a like caffeinated sausage. So on our podcast yesterday, we knew this, but we kind of reaffirmed that our two best-selling seasonings overall are the 25-pound unit of Holly regular pork sausage and the 50-pound unit of Holly regular pork sausage. You guys eat an insane amount of breakfast sausage. I do not eat that much, but I've got pre-mixed here or pre-measured here enough for 2 pounds. Then I've got enough serving size I've got enough caffeine to give 100 milligrams of caffeine to each serving size, and then some water. And I'm going to grab the meat. And then John and I, because I'm not trying this just by myself, he has to try it as well. We're gonna give this a shot and see what it's like. I took a little wet my finger and put it in the caffeine powder. It's got a little bit of medicine taste to it, but nowhere near as bad as what I was expecting. Couple of things. Don't do this at home because there's no good reason. This is literally just, I guess, following through on a promise is the wrong word, but an idea we had on a live stream a while ago. But with anytime we're dealing with really potent ingredients, the best way to do it is to mix it in with whatever water you're going to be adding. The reasoning for that is obviously if you leave it as a powder, it can get stuck on one piece of meat and not really want to mix with everything else. When that happens, you've got one piece that may have, many, many times the recommended dosage of caffeine. So we're going to mix this incredibly well. And I can't really see chat when I'm doing this. So for process stream, which is something we've started doing where anytime I'm making something, we basically just turn on the camera. We do have a big monitor in here now, so we can get chats up on that. So as I'm going, I can respond to any chats you guys have. So expect to see a decent amount more process stream stuff from us. Somebody asked about the electric stuffer. Was that Papa Sop? I think it was. So we continue to work with the manufacturer on that. We've got a guy in here now doing new product development full time, which so helpful to me. Trying to deal with manufacturers and finding people and places to source things, taking up way too much time. But we're now looking at having two models of that, a larger and a smaller. It's not going to be this year. So it won't be until the new year that those come in. But when they come in, I mean, the whole reason it took so long for us to do this was we wanted it to be able to reliably do snack sticks. And I believe we're there. There's going to be some batch sensitivity to it. That's a bad word for it. But you're going to have to realize that different batches are going to have different thickness to it, different stiffness, for lack of a better word. Some will stuff easier than others. So there is that speed setting on it. So some you're going to have to stuff slower than others, and some of them, it'll come flying right out. So just be aware of that. We upped the amp because there is a circuit breaker in there to protect the motor. So if it trips, you're just gonna have to slow the speed down a little bit, and you will eventually find a place where it does it. Now, sometimes when I'm hand mixing things, I can feel that the meat is gonna be hard even on just a regular hand crank sausage stuffer. That could be if it's a super old deer that I was working with, if I didn't add enough water. Can't think of another reason that would really cause that. But there are going to be times like it comes with a handle as well. If it's incredibly tough, I mean, yes, it's an electric stuffer, but it's an electric stuffer. It's not a hydraulic stuffer or vacuum stuffer. So you just have to treat it, with some care. Another thing we keep looking into with the same company is the dual grind head. We've been going back and forth with them. I don't think it works well enough at this point for us to carry it. They had us buy another brand to test that one, and ours worked far better than that. So I think they were trying to show us like, hey, you're being too picky, but I don't think they understand the level of interaction between decision makers here and end users. I think when you get to some of these bigger companies, they can see something, be like, oh yeah, that works, and then not care because they don't have to deal with the ramifications of selling a product to somebody and then seeing their displeasure. We do, so we just want to not. I mean, the best way to have good customer service is to make it not an issue, right? Like if you don't have anything to complain about, there you go. So that's what we're trying to be super careful with that. For whatever reason, I feel like I'm running out of breath a lot today. No idea what that's about.
Stuffy in here.
Is it? Is that what it is?
A little bit.
Okay. That makes me feel better. All right, so we're going to make patties. Go. And I'm going to move my computer. All right, so are there any chats we want to talk about?
Matt Westerhouse said, just turn that kid into heroes. I'm not sure what he's talking to.
So a kid is a type of goat, and heroes is a like a gyro.
Yeah,
Gyro.
Gyro.
Yep, so that's what he's talking about.
Ballpark figure on the cost of electric stuffer.
So much can change in between now and then that I almost don't even want to say. But I believe the current idea is to keep it under $1,000. That could change.
Indy Mike asked if I want to make snack sticks with supreme pizza brat seasoning. Should I scale the meat back to about 20 pounds to 25?
Yeah. Did you say 20 pounds of meat to a 25-pound batch?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
That's what I would do with that. And we have done that. Now, I would actually recommend that you at least consider the pizza-flavored Frankenweenie seasoning. So that one is designed to be a cured sausage. It's not supreme, so you're not going to get... Supreme pizza has a pretty strong, like, black olive and a couple of, like, almost like an Italian sausage taste in it as well. The pizza-flavored Frankenweenie doesn't have that, but it works really well as a snack stick. All right. Let's see how that fries up. Ugh. Get this back here. And while we're doing that, we've got obviously some jerky in there. We've got some seasonings we can give away. But I was thinking the first person we draw here could choose between those and a Waltons or the Waltons and BHA t-shirt. I assume that sounds good. So we'll go ahead and do that. I might just lie and say it's Tex.
Somebody wanted to wager before if he was going to win or not.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So Lindsay Langerman. Lindsay, so you have won either. You can choose some jerky and a Waltons t-shirt, or the Waltons and BHA t-shirt, or jerky and a bag of seasoning. Just let us know you're here and let us know what you choose. No, we have to. Oh, John, you're sticking around for the barbecue stuff?
Is that today?
Yep.
What time?
5:15?
Yeah, I'll just come back.
Cool. I want to know what this... That not the meat sausage got thrown out. That is gone. That did not hang... There's a couple of times... Oh, I'm actually somewhat surprised you can hear that. I can't get this any closer to that. Sorry.
It's pretty loud.
Is it? Huh. I mean, it does smell really good. I can't, at least I don't smell any weird caffeine or chemical smell. That probably helped the sound, I imagine.
Now it just sounds more muffled.
Okay, but not as loud at least.
No, not as loud.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. It was just told that they were bringing in food this day. I didn't ask much beyond free food. Ooh. All right, So, a couple of months ago, probably earlier this year, I brought up the idea of having a monthly kind of contest on Meatgistics where we would post a question and then let you guys post your answers, and we would pick the best one and give out some sort of like award for it. That fell right off just because honestly I did not have time. But John's got an idea for two different things, one of them being pretty much that. John, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, first we got the weekly, it'll go with the Meat Matters post, but we'll announce the winners on that. But it's you just choose the best post, the most appetizing post that you think looks the best. So, and it has to be food related. They're picked from anywhere, but most of them are going to be from What Did Everybody Cook Today? And you just comment who you want to vote for in the comments, and I go through, and when I count your vote, I'll like it. That way I can keep track of it, and then I keep a tally of who gets the most votes, and then on Monday I'll post the winner on Meat Matters, and you don't really win anything. You just get to say you have the best post of the week.
You win pride.
Yes. You get to brag.
Definitely worth something, especially if it's on the bragging board. I don't see Lindsay. So, Lindsay, let us know if you're here. If not, I will redraw that. And then the other one is what we tried to do initially. So it'll be a monthly contest on where we see what's going on in Meatgistics, see what's been like a common problem. We post a question. You guys come through, post what you would do about that. Then we will select the winner, and then that will get some form of award. It'll probably be a hat or a shirt or something like that, but it will be some tangible thing. None of these autographs are weird. None of this. None of it. One thing, two things that are coming out pretty soon. We did some stuff with Pheasants Forever. I worked with a chef up there who owns a barbecue place called John Whipfley. The barbecue place is Animales. We shot how to cook pheasants a bunch of different ways videos. They have the first one of those done, so that should be coming out shortly. So keep an eye out on Pheasants Forever for that. It was awesome experience. And then I was just on the On the Wing podcast. That I think is going to come out in just a couple of weeks here, but that was a ton of fun too. So as we get closer, we'll go ahead and do those. The third or last thing that I wanted to talk about here was we've added a new like kind of badge. So I've created the veteran and the old timer, and these should automatically be awarded for being a member over a year. You get the veteran status, and for being for more than 2 years, you get old timer status. And then as we go along longer and longer, we'll create longer ones. But there'll be badges that you'll be able to put next to your name. Ooh, I may have smelled a little chemical there. I probably also made those way too thick. All right, I guess that needs a new battery. Rummaging through here. Nope. Okay. So we're probably a good 5 minutes away on that. I wonder if you could get NoBB to add a button for votes that disappears after 1 week, and you guys can see which posts get the most votes that week. It's like most upvoted post of the week. I really like that. So it doesn't necessarily have to disappear. It just needs to be the most upvoted post of the last 7 days. Okay. I'm actually going to start typing that email right now so that I don't lose it. Come on. We ask so much of NodeBB. It's ridiculous. What am I saying? Most upvotes of last week. Okay, cool. I will do that. That's a really good idea. Who came up with that? Jeremy. Good idea, Jeremy. That works really well. There should be, after so many years, don't you have something else to do, Bad? I don't think that's so much after so many years. I think that's after so many posts in a short amount of time.
They're saying the kids call it trending.
Call it what?
Trending. When the upvotes get the most, they're calling it trending. Sounds too Twittery to me.
Call it a what?
Trending.
Oh, trending.
Yeah,
No.
hashtag
No
trending, yeah.
No trending. Sorry, I'm just... My world-class patience is running thin with those, so I just cut them in half a little bit to open up that center and let them cook a little bit faster. Yes, the kids do call it trending, but we don't call it anything. All right. Draw a new winner. And this winner again, shirt and jerky or seasoning and jerky, Cody Weiss. Cody, let us know you're here. Problem with the most over in the last 7 days is that you shortchanged the person who posted on day 6 because they didn't get enough exposure. Yeah, that's fair. I don't know how you solve for that. It's going to happen almost no matter what. So whatever, even if you have him just disappear after a certain amount of time, that's still going to happen. So I don't know how you would possibly calculate for that. If somebody has a good idea on that, I'm definitely willing to listen. Cody, you can choose from either a bag of jerky and a bag of any type of sausage, jerky, whatever seasoning you want. Or if you don't want to do seasoning, you can pick a couple Excalibur standard size shakers, or bag of jerky and a Waltons t-shirt, like one of the Meatgistics ones I usually wear, or the Waltons long sleeve t-shirt, or this new Waltons and BHA combo shirt. All right, we're good to go. I think this is going to be terrible. I feel like I can vaguely smell the caffeine powder. Okay, sounds good, Cody. We will get in touch with you probably tomorrow, and we'll draw a couple more winners as well. But yeah, so Congratulations.
If I don't sleep tonight, this is your fault. Not that I ever get any sleep anyway.
20. Hold on. Let me bring this to you, and then I'll tell you about my terrible sleep recently. Two nights ago, I got 20 minutes of sleep. All right, here goes. Pat, who is our graphics guy, came up with calling them banger bangers. Like, I don't know what else we would call them. I can definitely taste it. Not even a question.
I can too.
Yeah. Yeah. It kind of just tastes like super salty, maybe?
Kind of medicine-y, like you chopped up
Medicine-y.
aspirin and put it in there is what I think it kind of tastes like.
I'm going to choke this down because I don't know. I feel bad throwing out meat, but I don't think I would recommend that in any way, shape, or form. In fact, I want to know who it was who suggested this.
I can't remember who it was.
If you're here and you suggested this, let me know. I will freeze this and ship it to you. Nope. Hot sauce isn't going to fix this. No, so I have this stuff at my desk called BC powder. It is like aspirin crushed up, and you just like comes in this almost like sleeve thing, and you let it slide in your mouth and just drink something real quick with it. But for the few seconds, that's what this tastes like. But this lingers because of the fat. The pork fat coats your mouth, and you can't get that taste out. I wouldn't go so far as to call it vile. More an annoyance that doesn't feel like it's going to go away. Right, yeah, so like a banger, so like caffeine, bang your head, I don't know. It's going to be called nothing because we're never doing this again. And that's what that's going to be.
Call it a bad idea?
Yes, very bad idea. Oh, we got a stage 5 clinger. All right, drawing 2 more winners. And again, no, I'll draw 1 winner. I am going to draw 2 more winners overall, though. Again, the same holds true for anybody. They can choose a T-shirt as opposed to a bag of seasoning if they want. Jim Komarkowski. I don't believe Jim's ever won before. So, Jim, congratulations. Let us know you're here and what you want. All right, so we keep getting this request to try coffee again. I tried smoking coffee beans and then doing it, and it still sucked. I'm uninterested. If anything, I might try beer again. Like try and lightly smoke a porter or something. But the coffee was, I can still taste exactly what that tasted like in my mind. Like the second I see that video, that taste comes back full bore. And the only thing I can explain that it tastes like if you were to take water and put out a campfire with it and then scoop that water back up and drink it, that's what it tasted like. It was god awful. Absolutely god awful. Okay, so LaRue asks, curious if snack sticks can be made in dehydrator the same way venison flat jerky is. You're going to run into a couple of problems. The general dehydrator, the max temperature it's going to get up to is 160 to 165-ish. It definitely can work. People definitely do that. But you risk something called case hardening. Case hardening is when the outside of the sausage, any type of sausage, either cooks or dehydrates too quickly. So it can no longer effectively pass thermal energy into the center of the sausage. So what you can end up with is a very dry or overcooked outer sausage, and the inside can still be like mostly raw. You could cook the outside to 180, and the inside might still be 140. So that's definitely something to consider. We've never done it here. What I have done in the past is made snack sticks, vacuum sealed them, sous vide them till they were 160, and then put them in the dehydrator. It worked, but it ended up taking longer than it would have just to smoke them because they had to spend so much time in the dehydrator. Otherwise, I mean, if you held a regular snack stick, it had no rigidity to it at all. The bite, the snap was extremely unpleasing until we ran it, I think, for 8 hours in the dehydrator. And at that point, they were okay, but it didn't seem to offer any advantage. Now, if that's what you have as a dehydrator, it can work. I might recommend you try a skinless sausage or a skinless snack stick instead. That way you don't have that barrier between the meat and the air. Might be a little bit easier, but I honestly don't know. Cool. All right, so Jim is here. Jim, we'll email you tomorrow, figure out what you want. Let's see. Who said that? Malarvi says, never had any luck with coffee, but willing to try it again. I imagine you're talking about smoking coffee. I'm arguing that there's no good way to do it.
That pepperoni will take that taste right out of your mouth.
It just tastes so much more like pepperoni once you dehydrate it. And it doesn't take long. Like 165 for an hour. We started that at 125, which was too low. But 165 for like an hour really, really does wonders on it. All right, we got James Bradley McLaughlin. And I want points if I pronounce your last name correctly. James Bradley McLaughlin. Yep, let us know you're here. Does adding coffee beans to wood chips while smoking add any benefits? I don't know. I've heard of people doing it. Ignore that. I've heard of people doing it, but I've never done it myself. My next experiment is I want to replace the water bowl at the bottom of my smoker with beer and then put automotive sponges in that and let that dehydrate. I just can't figure out what protein I want to try it on first. I'm thinking just a pork butt, like pulled pork. I'll use probably the butter flavored roast beef pump and try it with like either an amber or a Bach or something of that nature and see what that does. I can't imagine that not working well. So
James McLaughlin
He's here?
is here. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Any relation to Sarah?
I was thinking, what was the McLaughlin group?
Yeah,
Wasn't that something?
That wasn't that a Saturday Night Live skit?
Is that what it was?
I think it was.
Very well could be. So tried smoking coffee beans several ways. No good smoke penetration. You would have to get them straight out of the cherry, then smoke them. Okay. And they're already roasted, right? Coffee beans are roasted, yeah. So, yeah, you're not going to get any smoke to penetrate the bean unless you crush it. I think that's what we did. We ground it and then smoked it, and it was still no good. McClue, that was off. What can you do? All right, so we've talked about shirts, talked about economy sealer, talked about pepperoni, caffeine sausage, winners. We talked about the monthly meat hack and the best of the week posts. We're going to try and find a way to do like a most upvotes of the week or something in that range. Okay, John says he buys them green. That, I would assume, would make a difference. I would assume. I don't know. I'm not really a coffee guy anyways. If I have coffee, it's usually got like a ton of creamer in it. So
Got to be cold out for me to drink a lot of coffee. Or I have to be just really that tired.
yeah, I've got better ways to get caffeine. Definitely not that. That is not a better way to get. I would rather have a glass of or a cup of coffee than that sausage again. Very, very few things go in the garbage here, but that is going to be one of them. Luckily, we were grinding that pork to test out the dual grind side by side thing. So
It is busy season, getting to be busy season. You can put it back in the warehouse so they can get the orders out faster.
Get them going. Yeah. And then just act like we don't know what they're talking about with the bad taste. Like, oh, I loved it.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, must be something on your side. All right, so John Geringer saying it doesn't make a difference. So I saw, he's in here somewhere. J. Michael Kaminsky was in here at one point. J. Michael Kaminsky is the guy who started telling me about the obliterator up there, and I was lucky enough to get one sent to me. But then I signed up for their email list because, honestly, they have pretty good, twice a week maybe. They send out like a email with new offerings and just like little interesting posts. But I believe they've just gone to become a weapons manufacturer. The last two things I saw from them that I actually like caught my eye was something like that, but it's just an axe. I mean, that's all it is. It's a straight up axe. And then the other one was a straight up sword. Whatever like the shorter of the katana and the smaller one is, it is that. And then I saw somebody using one on an Instagram video. So some Japanese chef, it looked like. So, yeah. Hey, there you are, J. Michael Kaminsky. Thank you. All right. So we've got 8 minutes left if we all want to hang around here. If we were to draw another winner, what would people want it to be? Top level, like no higher than an artisan apron. Ooh. And yeah. And D Mike says, buy your turkeys and hams now. Yeah, I don't know. Coffee cup. That pan sausage crap in a t-shirt. A t-shirt we can do that unless you're responsible for it. I'm not going to force that upon anybody. High temp cheese, J. Michael Kaminsky. We just took the shipping charges, the upcharge off of that. During the summer, we have to ship them during just when it gets warm out. We have to ship them in a cooler with ice, and we have to hold it so it ships at certain times. That we're cold enough now here where we're not doing that. So we took that $5 upcharge off. We're about to make another change of shipping rules for cheese, making it a little bit easier for the rest of busy season. So just something to keep in mind. I see. This is what I hate about the internet is LaRue. I know what that's a reference to, and I hate that I know that. I'm too, like, I need to go further out of touch. I'm too in touch now. The crock pot. Yeah, we don't sell that crock pot anymore. All right, so I guess we'll kind of make it user's choice between a knife, the artisan apron, and I mean, I don't know why high temp cheese would be a good win, but yep. Malarvi just processed 2 hogs. That is a hefty chore. People who think that was easy, beginning of COVID, there was that huge hog slaughter. So tons of people were buying equipment, all this stuff to do it. And we heard back like, yeah, I thought that was going to be a lot easier than it was. We were offered numerous times like, hey, I'll sell you a hog for like, nothing. Not nothing, but very cheap. And then you can keep it. And we're like, I don't really want to do all that. Couple deer a year, great, no problem. But unless you got a bunch of people to help you out with a hog, it can be a chore. Now, finished product, absolutely phenomenal. Probably better than what you're going to buy at the store, but you're paying for that in sweat and tears. Hopefully no blood. All right, so we're going to draw a winner. Kind of be choose your own. Whoop. Let's go. Oh, people are not going to be happy. It has been a long time since this happened. It's not you, Tex. It is Jim Komorski again. It has been a long time since somebody won twice on the same one. But Jim Komorski won again. Sorry, that's what the computer says.
Better go play the lottery today, too. Go try that, see if you win.
Harvest
lucky day.
3 hogs 2 weeks ago, get some experience, and now I'm going to do my 3. Good for you. I mean, like I said, finished product is worth it, but it is, it's a challenge. Also, best way to get experience is to go help somebody who already knows how to do it. 100%. For people who are doing their first hog or deer of the year, or deer this year, we have a video out there with BHA. Kurt, we had him butcher a deer here probably a year or so ago. That video was still up on our YouTube page and on our Meatgistics page. Anyone who's doing it for the first time, that's a great resource. It goes through skinning, goes through what the cuts are, what you should do with them, what each one is good for. Very, very good resource. I think it's a little over an hour long, but obviously you can pause it, rewind, keep going, skip around to wherever you need it. It's a great resource. There's hope for it. There's a lot more that's won. Yes, that's fair. But you were the original multiple winner. Nobody, and I still don't think anyone surpassed your 3 wins in a single go. So, but, all right. So we've got some stuff to do here before this employee event at 5:15. The person who is responsible for that doesn't appear to be here or doesn't appear to want to own up to it. I don't blame you. I would not want to own up to that either. So that's going in the garbage. Not even feeding it to my dogs because, oh, God. Caffeine in my dogs. It sounds like a terrible, terrible idea. All right, guys. Monday, we're going to do the full Waltons live stream. Austin or somebody would be up here. And me, obviously. We'll draw a winner for this month's. And then we'll announce next month's giveaway and talk about upcoming sales. All sorts of other fun things.